Did you know that Turkey has its own Palestine? What I mean by this is a country that is being ethnically cleansed, cut up into small pieces until almost nothing is left, all with the approval of President Donald Trump. I'm of course talking about Armenia. Recently, the United States has proposed to give some of Armenia's land to its enemy and neighbor, Azerbaijan, as part of a peace deal. In other words, just a land deal that would be pretty much the death knell for Armenia. This is unfortunately not the first time that this has happened. Just as Palestinians used to live all across what is now Israel, Armenians used to be the majority in many of the areas of what is now eastern Turkey. But just as Israel is now committing genocide against Palestinians, roughly a century ago, Turkey eliminated roughly 70 to 90% of Armenians during the Armenian genocide. And just as Palestine has been reduced to effectively some areas of the West Bank, as well as Gaza, Armenia is now reduced to a country roughly the size of West Virginia. In other words, very, very small. And it continues. In 2023, the majority Armenian area of Artsakh was ethnically cleansed after Azerbaijan blockaded the area to starve the population, just as Israel does now with Gaza. Nearly 120,000 people fled as the Azeri military invaded the area, armed with Israeli weapons. Today, Azerbaijan continues to occupy some of the areas of Armenia along the border. But rather than have Azerbaijan just give this land back to Armenia as part of a peace deal, Azerbaijan is asking for more. The Zangezur Corridor is a proposal for Armenia to give some of its land to Azerbaijan so that Azerbaijan can be connected with its exclave, that's an external territory, the exclave of Nakhchivan. This would mean that Armenia would be disconnected from its only regional ally, which is Iran to the south, and Armenia, which was previously had enemies to the west and east, would now have also a hostile nation to its south, being Azerbaijan. The Zangezur Corridor was once a fringe idea, but in recent days it has received the approval of the Trump administration, which says it will help to, quote-unquote, manage the corridor. You know, just like how the United States has also promised to manage aid in Gaza. We know how that's going. If you're Armenian, you should absolutely oppose this. The Zangezur Corridor would be the beginning of the end of Armenia and Armenians in general. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I recommend you subscribe on whatever platform you're watching this, and make sure to go check out my other stuff. I do a lot of videos on geography, politics, and geopolitics, which I think you will find informative. Thank you.